On the third morning, we made another move to a new spot. I was super excited to hunt this new spot as it was way more open and we could see the deer coming from a long way away. Unfortunately for us, the fog started to settle in, but the deer didn't seem to mind because they started moving right away. It was shaping up to be a pretty good morning. We had a small buck that was making his way in, and just like that, we glanced over to the side of the blind and we had an absolute mega that had snuck in on us. Where he popped up was not a spot that I was anticipating to see movement from. There was absolutely no way for me to get a shot at that point. Knowing that he was up cruising looking for does, I figured I'd try a light grunting sequence to try to lure him back. Unfortunately for me, he wasn't interested. As he walked off, there was nothing that I could do, unfortunately, to bring him back, and I just watched him disappear into the thickening fog. And it really was a helpless feeling knowing that, that deer has probably walked out of my life, and at the time I was thinking that I would never see him again. The good news is we still had a lot of deer moving, and it was just the start of the day. I was watching a couple doe about 150 yards out from us, glanced up, and I could see that mega giant buck making his way back towards us. Big buck, right over here. He's coming down here. As he was coming in, I was trying to use my rangefinder, but unfortunately, because of the thick fog, I was not able to get an accurate yardage at different spots where I figured he was going to be at. And I started actually scrambling in the blind trying to figure out how to get a shot, but we just couldn't get an accurate yardage. Just quit digging. This fog's too heavy. He's only picking up the fog right now. It's gotta be 50. The good news was I had a shooting lane at 30 yards from a spot that I had lasered earlier before the fog had set in. Unfortunately for me, the buck decided to stop right behind a large shrub pile, basically, that we couldn't shoot through. Just about the time that I was hoping we were going to get a shot opportunity, the buck decided to start angling away from us. And unfortunately for me, I didn't have an accurate yardage and I just didn't feel comfortable with the shot. What a start to the morning here in Oklahoma with crooked cut whitetails. We're sitting here, it's super foggy. Ryan looked up and there was a stud standing there. He came in, my rangefinder wouldn't work because of all the fog. And we got a couple does up top there, and a small one came through, but that dude was an absolute freak. But he was out there someplace between 50 and 60 yards at the closest. And I just wasn't gonna try a shot like that, especially without having an exact range on him. So hopefully these does bring him back down here, but what an encounter to start the day.